Welcome to
All right.
Four Men and a Little Podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube, the notification bell so you'll know when we're going to post new episodes. Like the episode so that, I don't know exactly what that does, but I think it helps us. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 4Man Podcast and Facebook, 4Men and a Little Podcast. All right, let's jump right into this episode, guys.
Let's do it.
So I'll just start off with the Nick. You're always asking like me and Marcus how it is with single life and trying to talk and date people.
During COVID, you know what? I didn't care about talking about being single and dating when I was single as much as I cared during COVID-19 because I'm just like, the world has changed to the fact that like, it went from being like, you go out and you're like, okay, I want to be around people I'm attracted to. Maybe we'll have a physical interaction to being like, I do not want to be around any of you people. I do not want an interaction physically with any of you people at all.
I think that's the people that are going out are looking for physical interaction. So I believe in that aspect, it's a little easier. But I had a very interesting night yesterday. I got off work and my boss got off at the same time, so we started drinking together with just a random guy who apparently is an MMA fighter for UFC.
Is his name someone you've heard of?
No.
Huh. But he's not.
So there was this girl there at the one bar, and the UFC guy waved her over. She came over. The three of us were talking to her. Four of us were talking, and her and I had a little bit more of a connection. She's like, well, I came out here just before COVID. My mom passed away, and I wanted to be an actress. So that's why I'm here. I'm like, oh, man, that sucks. Like, you came here just as COVID happened, like when there's no jobs. Trying to find a place to live is really hard because people weren't letting you in their house. So I'm like, that sucks. So me and her kind of hit it off. So we decided to go to a different bar, grab a margarita. I was just talking to her about acting, and then as we were sitting there talking, she after we left everyone, she's like, so yeah, I belong to the Church of Lucifer. People have drained my blood and have drinking it. I'm like, you drink blood? She's like, well, my own, not other people's, but people have also drank mine. It's like, okay. She's like, I joined the Church of Lucifer. They told me I had to sacrifice everything that makes me happy if I want to be an actress. So I did because I really want to be an actress. I go, so I'm like, did your mom make you happy? And she's like, yeah. Like, you killed your fucking mother. You had to have killed your... And then she started crying, which made it look awkward because
you're like, Shawn, right away were you like, I was joking. Did you actually kill your mother?
No. That's where Shawn comes full circle. Because it always happens.
So anyways, I continued talking with her. Over. She go back to the bar and meet up with your friends because anyway, so she wanted to go back
because I'm not gonna kill anybody for you.
Basically, she's like, well, I want to do some coke, and I was like, I don't do coke. She's like, well, I want to do coke. So we went back to the other bar.
Hold on. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Church of Lucifer or Church of Satan? Are they different?
She said Lucifer.
Yeah, they are different.
That's weird that they're different,
the Church of Satan, I believe, has more of a libertarian type of views. Basically, Stuff You Should Know did a podcast on it. It was actually very informative. Pretty much, they're not for killing, they're not for any of that stuff. But they said if anybody wronged you, then yes, you could like destroy them or something like that. But they're all for like pretty much all the good things that you can think of, like, helping your neighbor, being kind, all that stuff. They're all for that. It's just basically just leave me alone and I won't fuck with you. As far, I believe that's the Church of Satan. I believe that's
Church of Satan was founded in San Francisco by Anton LaVey, and I think he basically started a sex cult, basically. Basically, he'd like all these young women like get naked and have sex in my house, basically.
Well, I'm not done with this story.
No, I know. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted some clarification. I'd never heard of the Church of Lucifer, and I thought Lucifer and Satan were the same person. So I was like, oh, there's also a Church of Lucifer that's different than the Church of Satan. That's like having a Church of Jesus and a Church of Jesus Christ. It's like
Latter-day Saints?
No, the Latter-day Saints were a bunch of guys from New York who moved to California. Never mind. Forget it.
So we go back to the bar with where my buddies were. She's trying to get coke, but I'm not.
Another question. If she had to give everything that makes her happy for Lucifer, if cocaine makes her happy, was she in fact, I don't even know how to say this, was she committing sacrilege against Lucifer by doing cocaine?
Dude, I have no idea. The story's not even, I mean, it's almost over.
No, make it as long as possible because I'm enjoying it. What did this girl look like?
I don't remember. So she
attractive.
For the night, she would have been, I guess. She had her moments until she told me that she drank blood, and actually,
yeah, that's a term.
I still wasn't like. Anyway, so we go back, and then the one guy, the UFC fighter, pulls her aside. He was like, "Hey, man," he's like. No, just like he's like before you guys left, he's like, yeah, she was talking about how she'd fuck all three of us for like some coke. I was like, I'm sorry, because they were kind of trying to hook me up with this girl at the same time, and I'm like, why?
That's what it was. They had a sidebar. They're like, listen, I've got a little coke. We can gangbang this girl. We just got to get Shawn on board.
But I'm like, why? Well, no, I thought they were trying to hook me up with her. I'm like, why would you try and hook me up with this coke whore? What are you doing?
Yeah. Wait a minute. She'll do it for just not even crack, just regular coke? That's worse than a crack whore.
No, crack's way worse.
No, I know, but isn't this cheaper? I just meant she's cheaper than a crack whore.
Oh. So I went downstairs. I started talking with the GM at the bar, to just picking his brain on how to, because he's pretty successful at it. Like that's how. And then I left, and like everyone was gone. So because she had met a guy that had some coke, so she left with him.
Yeah, that's how it works when you're.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm over here dodging bullets, man. I'm like, I couldn't imagine if I just like left with this girl and brought her back. One, she probably would have never left my house.
No, she's like, I live here
No,
now.
she wouldn't have.
Because Lucifer said so.
Well,
oh man, she might drink the dog's blood.
Shawn, how long did you say that she was in LA? Like how long?
I think just before the COVID shutdown.
So like less than 6 months.
So
that city ate her alive. She's not in Kansas anymore.
So she went from zero to crazy as soon as she touched down in LA. That's kind of crazy.
She joined the Church of Lucifer and gave up everything before that. So
that's not even like it's almost like she didn't
before she moved to LA.
Yeah, before she moved out.
Oh,
where did she live? Where did she live before? Do you know?
No.
Because if it's like, the Valley, it's like, yeah, you were already kind of living in LA. It's not like.
Oh
no. I imagine she came from like some small Midwest town.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was definitely someplace further away, but like, yes, it was. That's what it's like.
Okay.
You're really dragging the bottom of the ocean floor.
Yeah, I've got this other theory, right? Like, there's a lot of people in this country. I know it sounds crazy because we can all read. Like, I don't even really know people who can't read, but there are people who can't read. And they're not getting dates on the internet Twitter thing, the Tinder thing, if they can't fucking type, hey, baby, wanna fuck, Like, if they can't even type that, they're really not going to be suave with their words enough to like reel someone in. They got to be real hot looking, just a picture on their profile. Because like if you can't read and write, like
yeah,
I mean, I guess you could always voice it, right?
I don't know. Is that how a Tinder profile works? Is there audio?
You can talk to your phone and it'll type it in for you.
Yeah.
Oh, Yeah,
did
there
not-
might
you
be
did
some
not know that,
crazy
Nick?
misspellings. I know you can speak to, but like, how do you know it's right? It's always wrong when I do it.
Oh, I'm always
We should do, just for a test. We should create like a fake dating profile and speak to type the information and just see what it says. It'd be amazing.
No.
no,
Because
Just to see how it works.
the person who might be able to do that hasn't joined us yet.
he is not here.
You,
He
He
was
probably
alive.
already belongs to like he probably already has Tinder. I asked him what did I ask? I asked him about the dating apps. I don't think he says he uses Tinder that much anymore. I think he uses Bumble.
No, he doesn't have Tinder because he used my phone number to get a code.
right? You've been getting prompts and notifications.
Well, I was drinking at the bar with my boss again and his buddy's like, I'm gonna put you on Tinder. You need to be on there. I'm like, I'm not interested. So we did it, and like I was like scrolling through it, and then like I looked at my profile picture and I was like, oh shit, that's right. Marcus used my phone number because I went into my phone number instead of like an email address. I was like, that's not me.
Wait a sec.
It was
Wait a
Marcus.
sec. So it's like one of those things that where it's attached to your phone number, like TikTok is or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so Marcus used your number.
Probably so he could have two accounts, and probably so he could have two accounts. Some girl was like, "We should be exclusive," and he's like,
They don't.
"Yeah."
I don't get any messages from it or anybody trying to talk.
Oh my gosh, this is why I don't give Marcus anything other than cash to maybe help him get his shit together.
I don't
But
give him anything other than cash.
well, he needed his car fixed that one time, so I
Yeah,
helped
sure.
him.
I'm just saying,
But-
like, to say I don't give him anything other than cash. It's like, look,
No,
man,
but-
I'll give you
but
some food
sometimes
if
he'll
I've
have,
got some.
like-
I'm not giving you cash.
No, but he'll have like random like he'll ask Shawn like one of those like requests saying like, oh, can I borrow your number for something? No, you can't. Sorry.
I didn't even ask. All of a sudden, I got a message from Tinder. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then the next message I got was, "What's the code?"
I got some.
And it doesn't bother me because I'm not going to use it. So
Right.
I was in the car with Deborah, and I wish I could. Oh, maybe I'm pretty sure I reported as spam. There was some like dating site or something that like sent a message to my email. I was like, "Oh, did you check that for me to see if that person emailed me back?" It was like about a job or something. And she's like, what is this?" And I'm like she said the site or whatever it was, and I was just like, "What?" It was called like I was just like, I don't even know what that is. Like, spell it. I don't know what you're talking, because like I didn't. And maybe it was Marcus signing up. Just
Could have
using my information.
He has done stuff like that. Like
I assumed it was spam, like a phishing scheme. Like, need to get back into your profile? Well, you got to click this, and I thought it was like phishing, but no, probably just Marcus trying to join a new site.
This is Marcus. Where like here's a story where Marcus Marcus's planning happens. So he's in Buffalo, New York, and then there's in Jamestown. Jamestown is about 2 hours away from Buffalo, south. And he gets basically a booty call or a pickup from a girl. Yeah, in Jamestown.
I've never been to Jamestown.
John,
I'm
you know
from
the story?
Buffalo. I've never even been to Jamestown.
I think
I've been there.
you're from Jamestown.
I'd like to go. They've got a Lucille Ball Museum. It's where she's from.
Yeah, I've been there. So it's like 1 a.m. or something like that. It's like midnight, somewhere around like late at night. And he takes his sister's car, his sister's van, and I believe it had half a tank in it. And he's driving down, and this is the time period where our buddy Andy lived in Boston, New York. So he lived like in between, like just south of Hamburg. So his phone's almost dead, and he stops at Andy's house, and he gets in Andy's truck to charge his phone because Andy leaves his shit unlocked to charge his phone for like a half hour before he heads down again.
This is great.
to Jamestown.
I thought he took the charger with him.
No,
That makes more sense
No,
because how
he
is
would-
Andy's car when it's not turned on even charging it? You do that?
Can use there's it's the same thing like how my Jeep is. There's a plug that is constantly charging from the
Really,
battery.
even when the vehicle's off?
Yeah,
Oh man, you
yeah.
gotta be
I can
careful
plug it
with
in
that.
and it'll charge it. Yeah,
When you park your car, you could be draining your battery.
yeah, you could, but the amount of power that it takes, it's not gonna. You'd have to be sitting there for a long, long time.
I just mean
So
if you
Marcus,
left your phone in your car overnight charging. Like, you
it
could
probably
drain the
still
battery.
would run. It's not like leaving the lights on.
No.
The so I believe I remember that he was sitting in the car just waiting for them, because I remember telling the story and I couldn't stop laughing. And so he's sitting in the car, in Andy's car or Andy's truck, just charging his phone before he heads down again. So he gets down there, and
Wait, did Andy come out and see? I'll let you tell the
no,
story.
it's like 2 a.m. It's like 2 a.m. he does this. And he's telling Andy this at the same time, and Andy's like, "What?" So he gets down there, and mind you, the van only had half a tank. Now it's like probably a quarter of a tank or something like that. And no, actually, I'm sorry. He did. He actually ran out of gas when he got down there. He said he coasted in. And
into the girl's driveway?
Yeah, and he had to
On fumes?
ask
Check
for
the
gas.
lights on?
Yeah, he had to ask for gas from the
He's
girl.
like, hey, baby, nice to meet you. Do you have a
Pretty much.
gas can?
Yeah, pretty much. Basically had to ask for some gas money or something like that. And before he left. And the funny thing is that he didn't, like, he got there like at 3:00 in the morning or something like that. And I believe he like headed back at like 6:00 in the morning after his car was filled or something like that, or at least halfway. So basically he goes down, he basically bangs these girls, and then
There was more than one?
He doesn't know who they are.
Wait,
Like,
was there more than one there?
no, I mean just girls.
Oh, in general,
So,
okay.
yeah, in general. So
I was like, you did that for a threesome? No wonder.
no, this is the type of stuff that he does, is that he doesn't know these women. And so he goes there, he'll ask for, like, say, money to get back or something, because he didn't think through that he needed gas all the way through, or charging his phone or something. And then if his girl says no, then that's when me, Shawn, Andy will get a text to saying, hey, can you pick me up from Jamestown?
Who got the text? Did somebody get a text, or did he make it home?
No,
I can only imagine.
In his defense, I'm almost positive all of us have run out of gas at some point in our lives.
Yeah.
Sure.
We just happen to not be, and like Jamestown is basically like a farmville.
Yeah.
There's not a lot going on out there. Every time I ran out of gas, like, I was near a gas station, and we were able to push my car through the gas station.
Yeah. I ran out of gas coasting down the street, and I asked your dad for gas.
Remember,
I remember asking him, and he didn't say anything. He just burst out laughing, and he's like, "It's in the garage."
That's a good neighbor. It's in the garage.
Yeah.
Shawn's dad's awesome.
Well, I mean, the neighborhood we grew up in is one of a kind. You know, it was really much like we could go into almost each other's houses, and if anything, we needed anything, we could just ask each other's parents.
Right. But I think that's part of being a good neighbor, and I think your dad was probably the best neighbor anyone's ever had.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best at least.
Yeah.
It's like he'd drop anything to help anybody, and he's a great guy, just the way it is. Marcus is like in Paranormal Activity or some shit.
Yeah, Marcus, what's up? Why are you in
walking through
Witch?
the house?
Why are you in Blair Witch mode?
I'm a man.
Oh yeah.
Did you pay your electric bill?
Sex. I'm a man.
Did you just get done fucking?
Are you naked?
I'm a man.
I think you just got done fucking.
Are you naked?
I just got done being in the shower. We just got out of work.
Yeah, 3 hours ago.
Was it?
I don't know. It's 8 o'clock. How long does the postal worker
Marcus
work
usually
for
gets
you?
out of work at like 4, right? Marcus, you usually get done at 4 or something.
No, what the hell are you talking about, dude?
When does Marcus get done with work?
Marcus,
That's
when you
what
get
I
done
wanna
with work then?
You're
6:30.
done like between well, technically it's anytime between 4:30 and 6, depending on how much
4
overtime.
o'clock. How dare you? I got it. 4:30. Either way, it's been 2 hours, right? So
yeah, and it's dark in your house.
what's
and-
going on, man? Why are you walking around
Are you
without clothes
sleeping?
on?
I'm a man.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. I should probably take mine off too then.
Is that what we're doing?
Please, let's not.
The full new format podcast?
We'd probably get less likes, but more views.
Yeah.
Chaz, when are we hanging out, man? You fucking
Right
blew me off
now!
on this episode.
Right now.
Well, hey, man. Anytime. You got to wear a mask, though.
And clothes.
Yeah, and clothes.
So
What?
we're just filming our.
How big is your house, man? You just keep walking.
It's actually a decent size, to be honest.
It's enormous. You've been walking for like 5 minutes.
For the amount of rent, the amount of rent he pays, and the size of it is actually a pretty nice place.
I'm sure it is. I'm just saying. You were just walking 5 minutes straight, and now you're outdoors. Man, in that amount of time, I would have walked into every room in my apartment 6 times.
So, I need to get a new American flag for the front of my house because the one I have now is all ratty and tattered. So how
Let
do
me
I?
see.
Huh?
Show it to me. Show it to me.
Oh my god.
What happens if you don't get a new American flag?
Yeah, look like- I
What'd
don't
you
have.
say?
I have the start.
Oh jeez.
But
Oh man, that poor. First of all, you
geez,
got to learn
yeah,
how to
it's,
fold it and take it down at night.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty tattered.
That's a ragged old flag. That's a great Johnny Cash song. You guys like that song?
Is the Ace flag on Transit Road
Yeah.
still open?
Probably not during COVID. It's like the least essential business is the guy who sells the butterfly flags.
He sells every flag.
Yeah, sure, I know that, but
Yeah,
the
it's
joke
still
is
open.
funnier if I say butterfly.
Yeah, it's still open. I used to drive by it going to work.
I'd recommend going there, Marcus, getting a flag.
So I didn't. You didn't let me finish my fucking question.
Yeah, I
So-
know what your question is.
How do I dispose of it? Do I just toss it, or there's something special I got to do?
There's
You
something
can
special you
actually-
got to do.
You can burn it in a protest.
Yeah, burn it and film it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that.
Look, you've got the right to, but I don't recommend it because I like this country. But I've never
well,
burned any countries.
I-
I've never burned any flag.
There is a ceremony that you can do, but otherwise, I think you can mail it into some place and
They used to be
dispose
able to
of it.
drop them off at VFW posts, but during the time of COVID, I'm not sure you can do that.
Yeah. Let me hold on.
Google
I know
that
there.
shit.
You could definitely Google it, and it'll tell you directly how to dispose of an
Yeah,
American
I mean,
flag.
I know the information is readily available about how to dispose of an American flag. What I can never figure out is how the fuck do I get rid of batteries? I've got no.
You just
fucking
throw them
clue.
in the trash.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
just throw them in
actually
the fucking garbage.
it's actually illegal, but yeah, I could.
No, it's not. It's not illegal. You just
It
throw them in the
is.
trash. It is not
Uh-oh.
illegal.
I got a mailer from the Department of Sanitation saying it was illegal, Chaz. Don't tell me it's not.
Uh-oh.
Maybe it's illegal in New York City.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe in New York City it is, because in Westonic, in Buffalo, I actually looked it up, and they said just throw it in the trash because
Because they don't have the facility to do
If
it.
it was illegal, I'm still throwing it in the fucking garbage.
My father, I think he puts them in the recycling bin.
They
Batteries?
because I looked at because the sanitation department because I look it up all the time in Fort West Seneca, and it says that the battery if they're rechargeable, then you can recycle them. But if they're just normal batteries, just
Yeah,
throw
if
them
they're
out.
alkaline,
Yeah.
you could just throw them out.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like
Alkaline
rechargeable
trio.
and more importantly, lithium. How the fuck do I get rid of lithium
Best Buy.
batteries? Because a
Best
lot
Buy.
of no, Best Buy will take the rechargeable, but they don't take the lithium. At least that's what they said the last time I tried. So
They should.
yeah, they
Alkaline trio.
love that band.
Lithium by Nirvana.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Or buy Evanescence.
You shut the fuck up, Chess.
Yeah, who the hell cares about that? Nobody
Yeah.
fucking cares about that.
Oh, Marcus,
Cancel evidence.
great news! You get to listen to my awkward kind of date story when you listen to the podcast. You relate. I already
Yeah.
told you.
Yep. Story's over. Marcus, have any awkward dates lately?
No.
You lucky son of a bitch.
Are you dating?
To be continued.
So, ladies, if you're single out there,
So basically,
There's a
follow
lady in
at
there
Four
that he
Men
doesn't want to talk
Podcast
about.
you're like the Washington
and ask for Marcus.
Redskins' new name, TBD.
TBD.
What do you think? What do you think the name should be? Any
I like
ideas?
Warriors. I saw Warriors in there. I like Warriors. Washington
Warriors works.
There's already a Warriors.
Golden State.
In a different sport, there's
No,
plenty of teams named
Nobody
Giants.
uses the same nickname in fucking different sports, man. You got to get your own nickname.
Giants.
I thoroughly enjoy. I actually like it.
Kings.
Like, it doesn't seem like a disrespectful symbol as
King.
far as I'm aware. It's
Oh
just-
yeah, hockey and basketball. Damn.
So I don't know. I'm
Told
going
you.
to go with the same.
And those are both California teams. What the fuck?
There's another one too. I forgot what it was though. There's
Who?
3 of them.
There you go, Marcus.
Wait.
Would you say, Shawn?
I was gonna say, like, I like their symbol, but I'd go in the same veins to maybe keep the symbol. But if they're gonna change it completely, I guess I'd go Roughnecks, because there's 2 CFL teams called Roughnecks.
So that's why I was like, what does
There's
roughneck
like
have
8
to do with anything?
teams total in the CFL, and 2 of them have the same name.
Really?
So that's an extreme example. That's crazy.
Wow.
So it's either an oil rig, that either means oil rig workers or rough and uncouth person. And in Washington, I mean, if anyone's controlled by the oil industry, that's the city. Lining their pockets.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
they
gonna have
already
they're gonna have to
Houston
come up
Oilers,
with something
right?
that has to do with the city. With where do they?
They're going to be Washington.
I think
No
they-
representation.
What city do the Redskins play in?
I think it's Maryland. I think they play in Maryland.
I mean, Washington, D.C. borders Maryland and Virginia, right? So
Yeah.
Virginia, Maryland, and DC. Yeah, the areas that someone labeled it the DMV. DC, Maryland, Virginia area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Prince George's County, Maryland. It could be the Princes, but that sounds so lame.
no, they'll figure something out. But did you guys read that there was a guy that bought trademarked like all sorts of types of names that
That's fucking smart.
the Redskins might actually or Washington might actually
But
get,
the thing is, they're too smart. They would just be like, yeah, no, we're just gonna have to pick a different one. No one's taken.
it's the same thing that like sometimes Google's or even the like Amazon, all those big companies, their registered name expires within the domain name, and you can actually buy it if you're fast enough and smart enough to do it. And there was a guy that actually did that bought the Google name before Google can their registration lapsed, and someone bought it. And
You can.
So-
Here's the thing: you can do it, and they get a notification. They have a certain amount because I've done it. I did it to someone. I took someone's website when it lapsed.
Yeah.
They have a certain amount of time. They have like a grace period. that they can still get it back. But they must have even just fucking missed the grace period. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, but the thing is that a lot of the times the courts will side with the company anyways, just to say like, well,
of course,
obviously you guys are trying to do that to get this for them to buy it back from you.
Right. It's not like
a crazy amount of money.
Right. They're like, you're trying to scam them. Like, it's not like you also had a Google.
It's
you have
a
business
clear
named Google.
scam, right?
Yeah.
So that a lot of times the court will just like say, you got to give it up, or if they say it's like, well, give them $5,000 and whatever for something like that. Sometimes
that would be settling at a
settled
agreement.
And they did that once. They actually settled. It was like the numerical symbol or name of Google. So like it was like 6,000 or something like $6,600 or $6,066 or something like that. It was something crazy. And they paid that to the guy who actually caught it, who bought it recently. I think it was like in 2009 or something. But it was but typically that won't pass. Like the guy will trademark it and it won't even go anywhere. So he'll probably won't get any money from it.
That's not even the biggest news coming out of the Washington football team.
Yeah, something just broke, right? One of the players just
like 40% of the owners or someone who owns or people who own 40% are trying to sell it. They may have been like pimping up. Now this is completely. It's not fact. No way to base it. I was just. There was rumors that like there was a lot of shady stuff going on inside the building, like possibly pimping out the cheerleaders. A lot of drug and alcohol use, I guess. And everything is about to really hit the fan, I guess, for them. So them changing their name, I think, is the least of their worries at this point.
Yeah. I just saw the headline, but I didn't read the story yet. But I assumed it was. I thought it was actually just a player like complaining about something, but like mistreatment or something. But apparently, you're telling me their whole franchise is fucked.
I think so.
I mean, what's really crazy is they were actually decent last year, weren't they?
No, they sucked.
They weren't. Oh, sorry.
No, they were a dumpster fire.
I misremembered.
They're probably I think they were gonna be all right this year because they got a new coach that's a good coach. Ron is a really good coach, and I think he's actually got some input on the team name, which is really cool. I think that's
Yeah, so people are trying to sell not the whole team, but their stake in the team.
Yeah.
Marcus, where's your cigars?
I was actually just about to have one.
Toke it up, man.
How about this cancel culture?
What is cancel culture?
I'm not in the mood tonight.
All right, we'll talk about it another time.
That's fine.
We are canceling
Marcus,
talking about
did you get
canceling.
canceled?
It's always it's always going to be a thing. It's always going to be an issue. So if we talk about it next week, it's not like
it'll be still the same topic. We can talk about it later. It's fine.
Marcus got canceled.
I actually kind of remember he kind of did once, didn't he? Remember there was remember at one point a girl you dated wrote something. There was some website where you could be like, it was like it's called like "Don't Date That Guy," and like some girl wrote about you on that. Remember that?
How do you fucking
Because you
remember
told me, man. How else would I know about it? You told me.
Oh my god!
And what's his name? That guy we went to high school with, that we graduated with, Nick Daniel something, was on there, and we were like, this guy. Like we didn't even think he dated.
That's funny.
I don't remember who it was, but sure.
Don't date this guy or something.
I was with you when I found out about it. I know that. I don't know if someone told you or if you brought it up.
Marcus
then we were
breaking
like, who
hearts.
else is on this website?
Marcus breaking hearts left and right.
I think it was pre-Twitter. I'm pretty sure.
Marcus is
yeah. It was pre-social media like altogether. This was like
kind of like hotornot.com.
Yeah.
Kind of.
If anything,
it's kind of the opposite.
If Facebook was a thing, it was still for college people.
And maybe MySpace was big then.
Yeah, MySpace was big at that time.
Man,
2004.
Anyone else miss Tom?
He was one of my only friends.
I follow him on Instagram.
Do you
That's
really?
Tom.
Tom
Yeah.
from MySpace? Does he post
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah, he's like a photographer, like a hobbyist photographer. He's actually really good. But I think he owned stake in like another social media platform at some point after MySpace, and then he sold his shares. So now he's just,
I mean, just from MySpace, he should have been rich.
Somebody should make a documentary on him, because if you think about it, he kind of like pioneered the whole social media thing before he was even really relevant.
Right? They totally skipped over him and went right to Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, he's got a net worth of $60 million. This article says, but as I've told you before, before, these internet celebrity net worth websites are usually full of shit and really inflate the numbers. Because I've known people who've been on them and I'm like, that person's not even a millionaire, and it says they're worth like 80 million. And it's like, fucking idiot.
Well, I mean, it depends in like what they have in their assets.
No, I mean like
what do they have?
These people have less than $1 million in assets, and it says they're have multiple million. Just some people I've seen, not everyone, obviously. Some people, it's absolutely right. Like everyone knows that, those are Oprah's. They've done research. That's how much Oprah's worth.
Tom from MySpace, he's obviously he has money because he's not working. He's not working.
Yeah, he's fine.
So he's just traveling the world taking pictures.
With a third of the country out of work or whatever the fuck it is, I'm not worried about Tom from MySpace.
Yeah.
The problem with MySpace is it was just it didn't run well enough, right? Like it was a great idea, it was a great format, but like once you could like personalize it with songs and all this other shit, like computers would freeze with how much shit was on one person's page.
And then you had top 5.
When did that ever happen? What are you talking about?
No, I didn't. Try to go on there right now. See what happens. It'll fucking freeze.
I mean, what's the point now? But like back when it was relevant, I don't remember having any issues.
When it first started, you couldn't change everything. But then when people started doing like, as soon as it comes up, it loads a video, a song, photos. Yeah. It was like a ticker.
It was basically,
there was just too much.
It basically,
you
could design your own page because you actually can put in HTML stuff. And you could also the page is like their own personal web space. And the problem and the issue and the difference between that with Facebook is you had a more connection with the people that you were with. So and it more focused on more personal communication than actually just like your own page. So that's why Facebook just gravitated so much more, just because it was more personal.
I wouldn't mind it if MySpace came back. Why not?
I like it as long as it works smoothly.
MySpace was fun. I did enjoy it.
It seemed pretty good.
I'd rather see pictures of my friends and hear what songs they're listening to than
Facebook seems to really just kind of. I'm not going to say much bad about it because, I mean, we're about to post this on Facebook so people can watch it. So,
Facebook is the devil.
My
all right, I'm closest to Facebook. I like how people like complain about like the service that they're using.
Yeah, literally today, my stepsister. I haven't seen her post something on social media in I don't know how long. She posted something like, I hate Facebook. This is stupid, or I'm going to delete it or something. And I was just like, and then she said something like, I wonder how long before it gets taken down. I was just like, oh, it's going to stay up because
they're going to stay up.
The more it gets clicks and likes, the more money they make. They're like, sure,
exactly.
Shit talk us all you want.
There is the recent update to Facebook. There actually is a section where they share their data. Where they allow other apps on your phone to get access to your Facebook data. And you can turn it off, and you just have to go to it. There's a video. You can Google the video. We'll show you where to go and turn it off. But it's basically it's just showing you. Like I have TikTok. There's like Airbnb. There's like all the apps that I have on my phone. Like are all like listed in there. Sharing my Facebook information to those services, and a lot of times what they're used for is basically just for advertisement to make me buy shit.
Yeah, let me ask you, I guess Facebook must have made a deal with these other apps and said we'll sell you the information instantly, basically, because they're not giving away for free. I know that.
Yeah,
that's where they make the money, is selling our information.
The details, but yeah, typically that's kind of how it goes. They have to have some sort of agreement, or at least depending on like the privacy settings. Like for us, like when we sign up to go onto their platform, we're signing a contract, right? So basically saying that yes, we are aware that you will be doing X, Y, and Z for our information, blah 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 blah. But the law says that they have to give us an option to opt out,
to not share with third parties.
Yeah, so basically they bury it into the settings so people don't know about it.
Right.
The hell are you looking at, Shawn?
I'm looking at you.
Looking at your bald head, man. Why you shaving your head?
Looking all over. So after we wrapped up last week, we won some money. We're going to use that money to buy an Xbox so we can start playing video games, the four of us, together.
5 of us. Don't forget Samborski.
I mean, I already said, are you asking if I'm going to buy one now?
You're the only one that doesn't have it.
Yeah, I told you, man. Like that thing that I bid, and it went over like $200 on eBay. And I'm just like, fuck that. No way. Fuck it.
You know what's funny is that if this was like 6 months ago, you would have gotten it probably for like $150.
I don't understand why I'm getting a used video game system for over $100. Forget it. Fuck it. Fuck that noise.
People are stuck in their house. Wait till winter comes, man. That shit's gonna be expensive.
Why?
People are gonna be stuck in their house again.
House chest. Winter's not gonna change.
Well, I mean, it's still summertime, so people can still go out. Like it's not like it's shitty weather outside, so people can still go out and do their own thing. They just can't gather as much.
I think that's a very northern point of view, man. Right now, I do not want to be outdoors in, Georgia or South Carolina or Florida.
I feel like those states, one of the reasons why they're spiking more than others might be because it's so hot and they're not going outside. Everyone's staying in like AC.
Maybe.
Yeah, you think that?
I mean, it makes it. I think it's one of probably many reasons why. But yeah.
I'm gonna tell you straight. People are straight up not. They're just straight up not wearing masks. They're just not.
That too, but then there's also people that aren't following the rules, but they're just not following the rules at all. Some bars are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard about the virus that it's more of a indoor illness.
Because
spread within indoors.
When it gets on surfaces, UV light from the sun kills it pretty quick.
Yeah. Remember when it was like on cardboard for 5 days? That's like, no, that's.
But
not.
In a lab, it was on cardboard for 4 days in a lab. It wasn't in the sun for 4 days.
Yeah. Basically, the sun really seems to kill everything.
Yeah.
I've been just sitting out there, just soaking up all the vitamin D I can get.
I just hope I die soon.
I'm so pale. It's just really easy. Just like Superman.
I take a vitamin D supplement.
Me too.
Because I don't get outside as much as I should.
I get outside none at all.
And I have darker skin.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a yard and there's a fucking pandemic out there.
But yeah, I heard about a lot of that. What I actually bought is I went to Lowe's and I bought with the air filter for my forced air, and it has I don't know how well this works at all, but there's different levels, different grades of it, and the grade that I bought has will help with filtering viruses and all that. So I started buying those ones. It's like $20, $25 or something like that. And I was like, may as well try.
Won't hurt.
Yep.
If Young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's from.
Marcus, you got a girl in the house?
No,
Then who's in the window behind you?
nobody. No, you almost scared me for a minute. I'm like, wait. I'm like, what?
You guys ever see a ghost?
Oh,
No.
thank you.
No. So until I personally experience some type of paranormal activity, I'm not gonna believe. I'm not gonna believe, man. I've heard all these fucking stories about people having these experiences and whatnot, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. So
Yeah, I've heard stories that were convincing, and then on 2 different occasions in my life, I've been like, I'm gonna sit up all night and try to see this thing in the dark.
The most
And
I heard was from your cousin Bob.
that's a good one, right?
Yeah. That was like, oh, yeah. That's,
Sure.
the story goes, his mom, so he's a younger brother, is what, 10 years younger than him?
Yeah,
Roughly.
8 or 9.
So
Almost 9.
it's a decent amount of years difference. And he told his mom that he sees it was a Native American, right?
Yeah, he said, there's a little Indian boy. I'm scared of the little Indian boy.
Yeah. And she said, what little Indian boy? Then she told Bob, and he goes, yeah, I used to see him when I was a kid too. He's right over there. Next day, everything about it, I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I sat up all night. I was like, I'm going to see this little Indian boy. I didn't see shit. Doesn't mean that there isn't one. You
Gotta
know?
expand your mind, Nick.
Look, I tried. And in my freshman year of college, they reopened my dorm. We were the first class in it. It was not ever. It was an old building that they had closed to being a dorm. It was offices and stuff, and then they reopened it as a dorm. They needed more dorm space. So I was the first class back in it, and these girls would be like, "I've been hearing weird noises." The shower just turned on by itself in the middle of the night, and I was like, "That is interesting." And then I was like, another girl's like, the shower turned on by itself in the middle of the night, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So I sat outside that women's the bathroom where they have the showers all night one night. Nothing fucking happened.
Yeah, you just look creepy as fuck.
I looked so fucking creepy. I mean, the thing is, everyone knew I was a nice guy, and they were just like, "Nick, what are you doing?" I'm just like, "You hear the story about the ghost? I'm gonna see if I can see this ghost." And they're like, "All right." I probably sound like a total idiot.
yeah, I appreciate the fact that you actually did that.
I was like, let's do an experiment. Let's see if it happens. I've heard a lot of haunting stories, and I worked on a show in which we would tell famous haunting stories. And
Did you work on any of the ghost hunters?
no,
I thought I remember you talking about that you worked on ghost hunters or something like that.
I worked on other shows that weren't ghost hunters, but I don't know. I'd like to believe, but the more I hear from it, like I worked on one show. I don't even want to say what it is, but because I don't want to expose it. But it was like, all right, we need to come up with like a reason. These people say this happened. These people say this happened. Like, can you like find any historical connection to any of this? And it's like, I'll try to. Let's see what I can find. You know.
Oh.
And it's the way you word it. It's like some say that it could be the ghost of a long dead sea captain. That's not what it was, but you know what I mean? But it's like, if you say it, you watch the shows, and if it's like some say it could be, it's like, yeah, it's not. There's no evidence.
When I first moved out here, I started working at the Escape Hotel. Because it's a creepy place, so it's only just help it out. And people that work there, even like the cleaning guy who really didn't speak English, would be like, we see stuff. And there used to be a seafood or sushi restaurant owned by Ashton Kutcher. And people that used to come in, they'd be looking around. They'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I used to work here when it was whatever the hell it was." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, what was it like?" They're like, "In the room back there, yeah, that was haunted there." And it would be in the same room where people would hear or see things, like on our security camera or like in the room. The one guy like actually showed like the security footage. So I guess maybe I have seen some stuff. I still don't believe it.
So you're watching security footage. You saw something. What'd you see?
It was like the guy, one of my managers, like froze, and I think it looked like there was a little a person, like a kid, just standing there, and then they were gone. And he said, "I felt this coldness around me." He's like, "I looked back, I thought I saw something." He's like, "I got the fuck out of there."
And on the security camera, there was an image of a kid that showed up and went away.
It wasn't a kid. It was a blur, like for no reason.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Like,
sure.
a blur, right?
Mm-hmm.
There.
Marcus is ordering a pizza or something. What the hell's going on?
Marcus must have ordered something, or
But that stuff's what's
talking to the girl that's not at his house.
who's not there. There's no one there. That's what it's convincing to me on security footage when you see something weird happen, and not when it's extremely like straight up. You see like, oh, you know what I mean? Because then I'm just like, you fucking faked that. But like if something, and also you never know. They could have just staged it to happen, right? Like I worked on this thing, this haunting show.
Like he was, he was just resetting the rooms. Like we weren't trying to stage it, right?
Right.
But we used to love showing customers that.
So
What happened?
You're cutting out. What was that?
Oh, we used to love showing customers the security footage.
Was that like a haunted themed room? Like, what did that do for you?
Yeah, the whole thing's it was one of the haunted themes. It was a scary room. Just we had then non-scary rooms because some people just wanted to do an escape room but not be scared. So it's like,
So are you saying you made a fake haunting video? I'm just kidding. I worked on.
hold
I
on.
mean, Marcus is louder than all of us. Is not even here.
I hear what he says.
I don't know. I can appreciate that.
Maybe there was someone in this house, but now he's.
It's coming from inside the house. So there was this.
Okay.
They brought in this. So there's this haunted museum in England, and they collected haunted items supposedly, right, and brought them all in the same building. They brought in this. I think it was from the 1800s. It's a wagon that was a hearse, like a horse-drawn hearse.
It wasn't bad. Yeah, it was annoying because it's like the rain kept starting and stopping all the time. And then like it would start off kind of light and then it would pick up. And,
I can't understand. Can you guys?
Not really. I heard something about starting and stopping.
Now, is he? I'm wondering if he's like on his phone, like if
He's got to be on the phone.
Because I'm on my iPad and I have my phone right here, so I'm wondering if he's using his iPad, Zoom.
Yeah, probably. He's. I think he's on his. I don't know if can you do Zoom on your phone? Probably, right?
Yeah, you can do Zoom on your phone.
So he probably had the iPad for Zoom anyway, because like you divide a phone screen into 4 people. How well are you seeing it?
I mean, he might not even divide it.
Well, no. There's 4 of us. Oh, you mean where it switches from person to person?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it cascaded on my screen, so I can see all 4 of you.
Yeah, me too. Because it just annoys me actually when it just switches to random people.
Yeah.
I like the Hollywood Squares look. He's got to be on the phone because we don't hear another person. Do you guys hear another person?
I think I hear something.
I mean, he's a loud guy. I know that, but like, I don't hear another person.
I have no idea.
Who knows?
So I hear Japan has pretty much perfected the COVID-19.
Yeah, they've been wearing masks like since the bird flu, I think, right?
No.
For like 50 years, they always wear. Always wear. I have no idea, but you always see videos or whatever, and even in LA, all the
You
tourists-
guys are thinking of China. In the
Is it
masks.
China? I
Yeah.
thought Japan does it too.
Not really. I mean, some people, sure.
Oh,
Well, no, we sound racist.
But several reasons.
it's like
There was
it's like that Dave Chappelle skit. It's like he's like, so yeah, aren't you like Chinese? Chinese? I am Korean. Do I look like Chinese? Yeah, motherfucker, you do. Why I said it.
Before I went on that awkward date, me and the two guys were hanging out with the other chicks.
How is he louder than you? He's not even in the room. I can't hear you.
This girl was Lebanese, and her friend was trying to like hook her up with this guy, and she's like, "My friend's Lebanese," and we're like, "What?" And she's like, "I know my friend. She's my best friend. I know who she is." And we're like, and her friend's like, "Oh my god, oh my god." Fast forward 20 minutes.
Hold on. Like you're cutting out, right? Chaz, you get in the story?
I'm getting part of it because Marcus's thing is too loud.
Yeah. Can you start over?
Can you mute him? You can mute him, right?
Yeah, can't you mute him? You're the administrator.
Mute Marcus.
All right.
All right, tell your Lebanese story.
So there was these three girls. The one girl called her Lebanese friend Vietnamese.
That's a big difference. They're not even
That
next
is a
door.
big difference.
Fast forward 20 minutes, the one girl had to help the other girl in the bathroom because she was probably thrown up. So the Lebanese girl was just there chilling, and she was talking with the UFC guy. And me and my buddy were just my buddy was really kind of being a jerk because they were kind of being jerks. Like they sat at our table and like they were on their phones the whole time video chatting. The one girl was on video chat and she was like this. We're like staring into your ear. And then
Best.
but I forget exactly what the girl said. And I'm like, oh well, yeah, it's probably because you're Vietnamese. You know, doing the call back to when her friend called her that, and she was like, fuck you, I will punch you in your fucking face, blah, 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 blah. And she started running. I was like, cool, there's your fucking table. You can fuck off now. And she's like, yeah, I think I will. You will. You absolutely will. And then the dude's like, hey, man, she's kind of like nice. I'm like, dude, if you want to go be a hero, go be a hero. I'm like, we don't need to hang out. Like, I don't even know you.
He's like, listen, man, you sent her away. It's like, so go sit with her.
Well, I'm not going to have someone threaten to punch me in the face because she doesn't remember about that fucking comment and the joke.
Oh, she had heard it earlier. See, I was lost. I didn't know that she overheard that and was like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She heard her friend call her, like, they were like, she had her phone. She's like, my friend's Vietnamese. She's really hot. It's like,
also, I got to say this. Someone once, many times have been like, oh, Nick, my wife actually recently was like, you're part English, right? I'm like, I'm not part English. And I was kind of offended because she's my wife. But like, if a stranger was like, you're part English, I'm like, no, I'm not going to be like, I'll punch you in the face. Like, just another country. Like,
well,
it's not offensive.
But the security guard who I became friends with that works there, he saw the whole thing. And after they wound up leaving, he walked up, he goes, I've been in many fights with Lebanese people. He's like, they're very proud of their culture and stuff. I was like, yeah, I wasn't making fun of that. I was just doing a callback to her, the fact that one of her best friends called her
Vietnamese.
You should have just been like, she's not Lebanese to that second guy. He would have been like, oh, he'd be so confused.
Oh, no, he watched the whole thing happen.
I know.
That's
Is
funny.
that the MMA guy? That guy's not. I don't think that guy works I don't think he's a UFC fighter. He might do MMA, but I don't think he's a UFC fighter.
He says he is. He says his next fight is in August, so we'll see. But it was
What's his name? Let's look him up.
He said he's not allowed to promote. And I was like, that.
Look, man, this is sounding more and more like a pathological lie.
I'm like, how do you? I'm like, what's your Instagram? I'm like, I want to follow you. You know, I always like if I meet someone, like, what if they become a star? It's like, hey, I know that guy. You know, I partied with him once. You know,
Yeah,
You're
sure.
not allowed to promote. I never heard.
You're not
of
allowed
that
to say your name in public? Come
unless
on.
it was like a.
he's like,
Unless it's like
I've
a
got to fight
underground
August
fight
31st at the Coliseum. What's your name? I can't tell you.
Is this like what?
Fuck out.
Is it like Bloodsport? Like
right.
an underground?
UFC cares about money and ratings.
Yeah.
And which means everyone who's on the card should be promoting the fuck out of it for money.
Yeah. I mean, he
Mhm.
might not be allowed to, on his Instagram, say certain things that'll spoil anything, like if there's a surprise or anything. But he can tell a guy in a bar his name and where he's going to be appearing. Hold on. Where he's going to be appearing live in front of thousands of people.
He said he can't.
It's not a secret.
He said he couldn't promote on Instagram.
Oh, I thought he meant he couldn't tell you. I was like,
No,
fucking idiot.
no, like couldn't promote on Instagram because I'm like, yeah, what's yours? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
It
He
doesn't.
might actually not be able to. He might not actually, because I'm not allowed to, on like TV shows I work on, I'm not allowed to sometimes promote or anything.
Although,
like, I
now
feel
that
like it's a lot different because
I mean, now that I think about it, I don't see a lot of UFC stuff. I mean, I don't follow UFC, so that's probably why. But I do follow Joe Rogan, and the only UFC stuff I ever see is stuff that he posts. And he posts very rare, like he doesn't post a lot of UFC stuff on there.
he
Like,
he's just the comments.
He'll mention certain things, but he won't like. I think UFC has been going to great lengths at limiting the copyright stuff for UFC on, because you can't find, like, when I hear about like a 14-second knockout or something like that, and I try to find it, usually you find a clip of it like on like Facebook or something. I can't find it anywhere. I have to like actually go like on like a third party site to get it.
Really?
And same thing. It's kind of like, what's that?
I usually find it pretty fast on YouTube. But
Yeah,
like,
YouTube I can find it.
it's usually like the next day or something.
Yeah, but like for like some reason, like the social media accounts, you can't like, they don't. It's almost like they don't like promote on there for some strange reason.
I follow Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz and a couple other people I think are interesting.
What about the first Sikh fighter, Beulah?
I used to follow Ronda Rousey for a little bit before she retired from the U.S. From fighting, and she would post her training and all that, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Jorge Masvidal's thing here. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's posting stuff. I'm not reading the posts either. So,
I mean, they're also not really. I mean, when was the last time they had a match, and when's the next one? You know,
his last fight was last Saturday.
Oh,
He's back.
so that's still going despite the COVID stuff. They're still doing it.
Oh yeah. That's why let's unmute this son of a bitch. Ask to unmute. What do you mean? Now I have to ask him?
You don't have to ask him, do you?
There you go. Oh, you turned it off. Now you just turned it back on.
Did I?
Yeah.
He's currently muted.
All right,
There you
Marcus, I accidentally muted you. Well, I didn't
Yeah,
actually.
because I like the way you're making some moves. I like the way you're making essays.
Yeah, UFC's still going on. Boxing's still going on. WWE, AEW, they're still going on.
Did you
Are
guys
they,
mention? Hey, did you guys mention something about the Spencer Davis group?
No.
Yes, we did. We were talking about them. We were like, I can't wait to get the new Spencer Davis group single on cassette tape.
I knew Nick was gonna respond, so that's why I said that. But no, seriously, it sounded like you guys had Spencer Davis group. So you know me, you know how I talk. What the fuck's wrong with my?
What's your favorite Spencer Davis group song?
What the hell happened to the? Oh, I have it upside down. That's why. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Marcus, are you on your iPad?
Yes.
Okay.
So I bought some seaweed salad at Costco.
How
Seaweed?
was it?
Seaweed salad?
Seaweed, yeah.
Probably better than regular salad.
Ugh.
I like both. But the first time I ever had it was at your place when we worked on that TV show, The Next Great Baker. Well, before it was before the show. Just
right.
I was just driving people, picking them up. You introduced me to Mark Thomas.
Yeah.
Like that was like the first time I ever had it. It was pretty good. So I finally saw it again. I was like, I'm gonna buy some. I had some for lunch. It was delicious.
It's the way to go. It's gonna blow.
There.
It's like Dr. Claw. If you just watching the arm on the chair.
Yeah, man. Fucking episodes of Inspector Gadget and Heathcliff come on Showtime at like 3:00 in the afternoon.
Maybe I should get Showtime. I don't know.
Yeah.
I watched a show on Showtime at my in-laws. It was called Black Monday. You guys ever see that show?
That show
fucking great.
One of my buddies, Jose, is an episode 1. You know where the guy was pretending that he used to when Don Cheadle was pretending he used to go, or he was telling the guy how he used to go to that restaurant and stuff, and they tipped the guy like $100, and they left, and then the guy looked back, and then the cook is my buddy Jose.
Was that season 1? I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was season 1. That show was the callbacks to things. You know, the one guy was talking about how he chokes himself when he masturbates. He's like, no, man, the lead singer from NXS told me all about it. It's a new thing.
Yeah, the 80s references are spot on, right?
Nintendo.
Like Nintendo, AIDS, like they do it so well, these 80s references. You know, sometimes you watch something and they're just like really shoehorned that in. It's like, oh, I need to get my Rubik's Cube. It's like, yeah, we know it's in the 80s. Like, we don't have to, like, all of a sudden have to go get a Rubik's Cube. Then that, they use it, they make the references so perfectly. It's great. It's a very funny show. It's created by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, who are very funny guys.
Yeah, that was...
they're not in the show, but Don Cheadle is.
Was it 1986, the stock market crash? No one knows how it happened.
Yeah, 1987. Yeah.
All right.
I've only watched season 1, so I feel
like it could have ended after season 1.
I watched I watched part of the first episode of season 2, and I was just kind of like, this seems like a very different show. It's kind of like when it's the same people, but half of them are in hiding from the law. It's kind of like season 2 of The Wire, where it's like, yeah, those characters that we followed season 1 are still there, but they're not together anymore.
Yeah, that's what really pissed me off about The Wire.
But if you push through that feeling of they broke up this group, that fucking show is so good. You watch 5 seasons, so season 3, they like come back together and like, oh man, they start bringing in more and more people. Such a fucking great show.
Yeah, I have to watch it. Like I have HBO Max, so now.
It was on Amazon Prime before.
Well, it was an HBO show, right?
No.
Right, but
it's Showtime.
No, it was HBO. The Wire. Or are you talking about Black Monday?
The Wire.
The Wire's HBO.
I had to watch The Wire too.
Let's all just watch it. I'll watch it again. We should stream that.
Apparently, they say it is the best show at that time. Like, even better than Sopranos, really? Because that shit was fucking fantastic, dude.
I think it's better than Sopranos. Sopranos is still a great show, though.
Sopranos
is still a great show.
Dude.
Yeah, I'll have a hard time believing that. But I did see season 1, some of season 2. I think maybe a few episodes of season 3 of The Wire. But obviously, it's one of those shows, like, if you don't watch it from the beginning, like, you really got to kind of watch it.
Yeah, you got to watch it in order. And
right.
And somebody told me that. I stopped watching. I watched season 1, and then I stopped halfway through season 2 because I was like, the new characters, I don't know. I don't really care that much about the story. But if you push through that feeling at the beginning of season 2, you finish season 2, Season 3 is so fucking good. Season 4 is fucking good. Season 5 is fucking good. So each one is like a different, area of crime and corruption of Baltimore, right? Like season 1 is dealing drugs in the housing projects, and hear about the bodies, the murder police, homicide detective. There was a dead body, and so he starts asking around because it's somehow connected to the drugs, and people keep he's like, no, I don't care about your drugs. I'm the murder police. I'm homicide. Tell me what's going on with this. Anyway, you get through. They set up this whole sting operation. It's great. It's just fucking brilliant. It's you could tell they did real research on how police did things and how drug dealers actually worked. It wasn't just this 70s cartoonish thing where some guys on the street like, you want to buy some drugs, man? You're under arrest. It's like, no, they actually did research. This is actually how it's done. And then season 2 is about shipping containers and human trafficking at the ports and the docks, and it's about unions, crooked union contracts, and it starts up with the politicians and re-elections. And then season 3, I think, is politics and like housing development. I mean, not housing development. Like, I know it sounds riveting, but it's great.
They live, we watch.
Sure.
We sleep.
What? How does it go?
They live, we sleep.
We sleep.
So I started watching a Roddy Piper show the other day, movie the other day, and it was basic. What?
Was it about Frogtown?
Yeah.
What was it fucking?
Did you watch
Body
it?
Slam?
Of course. I've watched
So
all of his movies. I've watched all Bruce Campbell's movies. They're
Let me tell you,
awesomely bad.
I started watching the Frogtown movie. What's it called? Welcome to Frogtown, right? Or Hell Comes to Frogtown, right?
Welcome to Frogtown, yeah.
I started watching it, and it's basically softcore porn.
It wasn't Body Slam?
No. So I'm watching it, right? And it's like he's getting released from prison, and I'm pretty sure the blonde woman is Peg Bundy, right? Isn't that who that was?
I don't remember it. I remember.
Oh man,
I know I saw it, but there wasn't anything that I stored in my memory because it was that.
Almost nothing happens, man.
Yeah.
It's basically like women take their shirts off and lick Rod Piper's nipples. Like that's basically the movie.
So like Barbarella.
I mean, I haven't seen all of Barbarella, but
It's fun.
So I just quick thing about Body Slam is that I just realized, because all this time for all these years I actually thought that was Rikishi in that movie, but it's actually Rikishi's twin brother, the Tonga Kid. So I thought Rikishi and the Tonga Kid were the same person. The Tonga Kid is Rikishi's twin brother.
Oh shit. And then Rikishi went on to have twins that are now the Usos.
Exactly.
They might be one of the best tag teams ever.
Who, the Usos?
They're up there.
I agree.
I actually don't think it is the woman who plays Peg Bundy. I don't even know that actress's name. She's in so much. What's her
Katie
name?
Seagal.
Katie Seagal.
Thank you.
Katie Seagal.
And Futurama, Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, I just brought up the cast of Hell Comes to Frogtown, and, like, it's one of those things that's so low budget that almost every name next to it has a blank picture. So I'm like, I can't find her. There's no pictures. Like, I don't know which actress played what.
The Twitter eggs. It's like, I'm not going to respond to you. You're a
Chaz, what anime have you been watching recently?
Plunder.
Plunder or Plunderer? Plunderer. Is that on?
Plunderer?
Is that on Funimation or wherever the fuck you got?
Yeah, it's on Funimation. And I watch a few of them, but I'm also watching The Wise Man's Grandchild or something like that.
I gotta fucking watch more anime, dude.
What's with these titles?
They're fucking awesome.
I mean, I assume one's about a plunderer.
The anime titles are actually, well, it's it's more than that. But the anime titles are like there's one show. What's it called? The overpowered hero who is overly cautious or something like that. It's a mouthful, but it's
it's so Japanese, dude.
it is. But it's a good show. I like it.
What about
It's like-
Doraemon? You guys watch Doraemon?
Doraemon, no.
It's this little blue robot cat. Old school.
No, I don't actually haven't watched anything like that. That was too far back. Like right now, I'm slowly going through Cowboy Bebop, but it's a fantastic show. It's only 26 episodes, but it's fantastic.
I gotta watch more anime, dude.
I hear a lot
Doraemon
about
went from
Doraemon.
1969 to 1996.
Jesus Christ.
He's like the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah, I don't go that far back. I mean, I remember the first anime that I ever seen was the Ghost in the Shell movie.
It wasn't Akira. It wasn't Akira like everybody else.
No.
It
The only Akira I've seen is Akira Kurosawa.
it could have been. I mean, it's around the same time because if I did, it would have been the Kilpatricks who had the movie that I would have watched. But I do distinctly remember being at UB, like, and I was like, I had to be like 14 or something like that, and they had I was there for a convention, and
Remember?
yeah, UBCon.
We slept
UBCon.
overnight?
It was like UBCon 94 or something like that. I couldn't remember, but it was, and we actually stayed there the whole weekend. So we would sleep like in the lobbies and all that. And I think I slept in like the theater or something. It was a really cool experience. And they had a movie, a poster of Ghost in the Shell, and I watched it, and that was like my first anime, and I loved it. And I always love cartoons, so to have that, like, I'm like, oh, they have like adult type cartoons. I'm like, this is great, and I started watching it.
So,
My roommate,
uh,
the TV show The Americans. Are you guys familiar with that?
I've seen some
Isn't
of it.
Isn't that the Russian spy thing?
Yeah.
is that what Carrie Russell from the Mickey Mouse Club?
And Star Wars.
Star Wars.
She's in the last Star Wars movie,
Is she?
but she doesn't show her face.
I was thinking
What
more.
is that? Is that is Josh Peck in that movie too?
Talk about the TV show The Americans or the Star Wars movie?
Star Wars movie.
I don't know. Maybe. Who's Josh Peck?
Josh Peck is going to be Tom Hanks' character in Turner and Hooch, because I think they're making a Turner and Hooch TV show on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Out of my way, Peck.
Let-
You
let
beat
me-
me to it.
You were gonna do it?
Don't call me Peck. Oh no! There's a Peck. He's got an acorn. He's got that.
I gotta like it's on Disney Plus, and it
It
keeps
is.
taunting me. Like I'm like I keep passing it. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch that, and I keep going to the show I was gonna go directly to. So maybe this weekend I'll watch.
Are you
it.
fucking serious, dude? I was just thinking about it in my head. I'm like, man, Willow, because it's like I'm always randomly quoting that movie even still to this day, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm like, Willow, man. I mean, I haven't seen Willow in its entirety in a while, and I'm like, I wonder if it's on Disney Plus. Fucking sure enough, I went on fucking Disney Plus and looked that shit up. And it was there, man. I must have watched that movie for like 2 or 3 days straight, just fucking over and over
Wow.
again.
You love Willow. I mean, I like Willow, but like you watched it over and over.
That movie's fantastic, dude.
Remember when we had those two girls at your apartment? I think it was two. Well, at least I had it. And we watched Willow. It was like, that was a long time ago, Marcus.
What, a fucking Pulaski?
Yeah. Oh, it was just funny. He was like, get your hair out of my face before I chop it off.
That's right.
Mad Mardigan. I had a Mad Mardigan toy. I don't know what happened to it.
I was trying to think of what my favorite Ron Howard movie was. And, it's got to be Willow.
Willow's,
What other movies has he done?
Rush, which is probably my second favorite one of his. I can watch.
I
Rush is
really
a
like
good
Rush.
movie. Rush is a good movie. I actually like that.
I like it a lot.
It was a slow burn, but I actually really liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fast.
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
No, I wasn't trying to be punny.
Think it was a Rush?
I thought it was. I mean, especially with the quick shots and things like that.
Oh, I was more thinking of the story development, but
Frost Nixon, Han Solo. He did Solo, or at least he finished Solo.
I liked Solo. I thought Solo was okay.
Oh, I thought so.
I love. You know what? Solo's my favorite
I still have to
Ron
watch
Howard
it.
movie. Oh, did you see the new Star Wars movie? Is that why you're asking me about Josh Peck? Did you see it? I feel like you didn't see it.
You know what? I actually did see it.
Okay.
Me, yeah, like me, Samborski, Vasona, and Klopp went to
Oh,
go
but you missed
see
it because that guy kept asking you about the Mets, so you couldn't buy snacks. So you had to leave to go get snacks.
It wasn't that movie. That was a different movie that happened. So Samborski told me that he told that story.
You could just hear it on the podcast.
He told
if
that
you want.
story.
I love it. I'm gonna start using that tactic when I don't really want to talk to someone. I'm just gonna keep repeating myself until they get like weirded out and just walk away.
Yeah. What do you guys think about Cocoon or Splash? Those are two early Ron Howard films.
I saw only parts of Splash or parts of Cocoon. I saw all of Splash. Splash was great.
Parent Trap or Parenthood?
Parenthood. I loved that when I was a kid.
Did any of you guys actually think that Daryl Hannah was attractive?
Yes, still think so.
I don't think so now, but back then, kind of.
Yeah, she was all right.
Because I've been coming across quite a few Daryl Hannah movies within like the past month, and it's like I'm looking at her and I'm like, I don't know, like I think she has a sweet name for a woman, but I'm like, is this woman actually that attractive that they put her in all these fucking 80s movies, early 90s movies?
Was she like a model or something, or
was she?
She wasn't she's not a bad actress. I mean, she earned it, right?
I mean,
she was in a lot of movies.
Trying to think of when she might have looked best.
With the eye patch. So Bill.
Nope.
I don't know. She looks weird at that point.
She looked she looked pretty good in High Spirits.
I don't remember what that is.
Sky High?
With fucking Steve Guttenberg, Beverly D'Angelo, and Peter O'Toole.
She was in Sky High?
Was hot.
No, she wasn't.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
Beverly D'Angelo is hot. I always thought she was attractive.
First off, Steve Guttenberg, only movie that he's in worth watching is the Police Academy ones.
What about 3 Men and a Baby?
Yeah, I thought about that after I made that comment, but I went with it. I went with it.
Here's the thing. Steve Guttenberg is also great on the Goldbergs TV show. I think he's underrated. I think he's a very funny guy.
I liked it in.
Is that a good TV show?
Yes, it is. For a sitcom, like an old school sitcom, it's really good.
It is awesome. They literally have a replica or maybe just the box of Fireball Island in the background.
Oh my God.
Marcus, for someone who loves 80s references.
Is that game still at your house, Shawn?
No. I mean, we were kids. The Ratters really fucked shit up when they used to go to people's houses.
True.
I mean, but I can't blame them.
It's
not even them. It really was just Matt. He was just so crazy. Like, I'm ready to the writers are coming over. I'd be like, we gotta hide this and put this away. Make sure Matt doesn't fuck this up.
I want to watch that TV show because I'm quite the fan of Brian Callen.
He's awesome.
Who is that?
He's probably the best thing in the Rush Hour movies.
I don't know. Who
Brian
that
Callen?
is.
Yeah, I think he was in all three of them.
Who's Brian Callen?
Different person every time. He's. Jeez, I don't even know of him starring in much. Where did he meet Joe Rogan? When did they become friends? Was it News Radio?
First I know the guy.
I believe so. Yeah. I think they go all the way back to News Radio.
Yeah, if you Google his name.
Oh, the Mad TV guy.
Yeah. Mad TV.
He is good on the Goldbergs. I don't think he's the best part of it, but no, he's a funny guy.
The Goldbergs. The fact that the kid reminds me of myself a little bit. The best part. Actually, the mom. The mom's the best part.
Oh, she's great. I don't know. I just like it overall. I don't know. It's a good family sitcom, and
isn't that your boy Jeff Garlin?
Yeah, man. Me and Jeff Garlin. I love Jeff Garlin.
Didn't you guys suck each other cocks in the movie theater or something? Is that what you said?
No, but I'll tell the story now. I have to because I fed myself. Holy shit! It
was a hand job. Now I have to finish.
We used the popcorn butter. So I went to see a movie. I was walking on the street, and this attractive young woman, was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Oh, hey," and she said, "You want to go see a movie for free?" And I was like, "Sure." Like, you have free movie tickets? She's like, "Yeah, but only if you go see this movie right now. I'll put you on the list at this theater." And I was like, "Sure." And I went. It was called Risk Cutters: A Love Story. I don't know if you guys ever saw that movie. It's pretty good. It's weird.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it sounds terrible, but I was like, "Oh, fuck it. It's a free movie, and I'm walking by the theater, and I'm unemployed. I'm unemployed.
Right.
I'll go." So anyway, I go in, watch the movie, and it's a weird movie. They're like in the afterlife, and weird shit happens, and I'm just like, I don't know. I was really tired. I might have worked that day really early, and I was done, and then I did this after work, whatever it was. I was whatever. So I leave the movie, and there's this massive crowd in the theater, and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta get through all these people to get out. I'm like, usually movie theaters. This is when I just moved to New York. I'm like, usually movie theaters, there's another door. You can just leave the building. You don't have to go all the way through the lobby. There's another door, right? And I see a door. I'm like, oh, there's a bunch of doors. I'm like, this is an exit. So I go out this exit door, and I go down the stairs, and the ceiling's getting lower and lower. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why is the ceiling low in this fucking weird stairwell? Anyway, I'm like, fuck it. I've gone down 2 flights, and I'm still not out of the building. I'll go back in. So I open a door. I basically walk in the exit only, and the actress Patricia Clarkson is there, and we almost walked directly into each other, and she gives me like the stink, like this mean look, and I'll give her a look like, what the fuck look at me like that for? Like, I'm just trying to leave a movie theater, Anyway, so then I go out, and at the time it was Union Square, the Virgin Megastore was there, and it's basically like Media Play, at the time. And
Media Play
for you guys, so it's like you could listen to music. They've got along the walls, they've got headsets up with the new albums. They've got tons of DVDs, bargain bins of DVDs. There's 2 floors. They sell toys, they sell video games, they sell records, they sell instruments. That's a great store. Like, I would go in to kill time all the time. So I was just like, all right, I'm just going to stop in, take a little walk around. I walk in the door, and Jeff Garlin's right inside the door, right? And, like, I recognize him, and he looks at me because I just, like, stopped walking and look at him. And I said, hey. And he's like, hey. Just being a nice guy, because he could tell. Celebrities have this thing where they could tell, like, someone recognizes them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're like, and they run away, or sometimes they're like, hey, or nice to see you, or just a nod, whatever. But anyway, he's just like, hey. Anyway, he's holding this giant theater popcorn, the large popcorn from the movies, in his hands, and he's eating it in a different store. And he probably doesn't. He probably wouldn't like me telling everyone this, but it's true. Anyway, so he's like, "Hey," and I said, "Hey, I meant to go see your movie, but I missed it. I was out of town when I was in the theater." And he says, "Oh, well, do you have cable?" And I go, "Well, and he's like, "Are you stealing cable?" And I'm like, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Basically, I moved into this apartment. There was a cord. I plugged it in, and it had TV channels. So I just never signed up for TV. So am I stealing it? I don't know. I think someone's paying for it, but I don't know." And he's like, "Well, if you ever like pay for cable and you get on demand, you could watch the movie right now." I'm like, because he had just directed a movie with starring him and Sarah Silverman, and I knew that anyway. So anyway, when I walked up to him and the popcorn, he went to shake my hand, but his hand was all buttery. You can't see my hand because of the fucking green screen setting, but he's just like went to put his hand out all buttery, and then he's like, and then he put his elbow up, and I'm like, okay, and we like bumped elbows.
Oh, so you're already doing the pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
Me and Jeff Garlin were on top of this shit years ago.
That's right.
Because we had greasy butter hands from the movies.
He's funny.
Yeah. There was likely a premiere there that him and Patricia Clarkson were at that had just got out when I got out of the Free movie. Hence the famous people in the crowds, and I was like, I can't fucking get out of this movie theater.
Makes sense.
But it was a very surreal situation leaving that movie that was about like a weird situation that I got in that stairway, and it was just like the ceiling kept getting lower, like I'm like Alice in Wonderland. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I walk out this door backwards, and this actress is like, what the fuck? This actress is here too. Chaz, what's on your phone, man?
Nothing.
Checking the scores?
Yeah, I totally thought you fell asleep for a second, Chaz.
Did you ever end up watching that movie Fresh? I'll let you borrow, Shawn.
No.
Why not?
How many years ago was that?
I wanted you to fucking watch it.
12 maybe?
I wanted you to watch it and let me know how you liked it. It's got fucking Giancarlo Esposito in it.
Did you watch
And
it, Shawn?
Samuel L. Jackson.
It's been 12 years.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Produced by the producer of Pulp Fiction, Lawrence Bender.
I'll
see?
I'll find it and I'll watch it. Yeah, my new work schedule is actually pretty cool. I only open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I have 4 days off. So,
Well,
yeah.
I want to watch this movie Fresh. Marcus, why didn't you tell me about it? We could have talked.
You may have been in New York City. It was on DVD.
Yeah. You were definitely in New York City, and Sean Farrell was still in Western New York.
Oh shit! Right now, Fresh is free on Hoopla and Pluto TV. You got to watch commercials, but
Pluto TV.
Pluto TV, man. There's some good shit on Pluto TV. There's some good shit on all these streaming services.
Did you ever get that movie back to me?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
It was in your storage unit. It was in the storage unit, Marcus.
Oh no! It wasn't. This was actually after the storage unit.
Did I give Brett back what?
His Super Nintendo?
I never had Brett's Super Nintendo. He had my Nintendo 64.
Oh. And he fucking lost it, didn't he? His fucking couch bed ate it, dude.
I think he gave me a back, but like he was missing all the cords and cables, and he was like, no. I remember I already gave you that. It's like, I'm not going to get to an argument about this.
You're just like, wait a minute, hold on. You unplugged the Super Nintendo, took all the auxiliary cable cords and brought them to me, but left the Super Nintendo, and now you're giving me the Super Nintendo? I call shenanigans.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it. I'm not gonna. This isn't worth the time.
It's like, yeah. I had a friend lose a DVD on me, and it was just like it was imported foreign film, and I was like, man, when this came out, it was like in bargain bins for $5, but now it's gonna cost me $30 to replace it, you asshole. He's like, I didn't lose it. I'm like, How many people do you think I let borrow this imported foreign film? Nobody wants to watch this. You fucking have it.
What do you think the imports are doing right now?
I could tell you if you want. I'll get on Facebook and check.
Oh.
Are you friends with all of them?
3 of the 4.
Who are the imports?
They were a band. Frontman Brad Rayum, who we went to elementary school with, they were a punk band in the late 90s, early 2000s, and they got a record contract, actually.
Elementary school with him?
Yeah, he left after first grade.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't remember much about first grade. Or like people that left. I remember there was a guy named Nate that left after second grade. And the only reason why I remember him is because I thought his name was Mate.
Shawn, for full school years, calling this kid Mate. Nobody noticed. And then he left. It was like, oh, did you hear Nate's not back? Shawn's like, who's Nate? It's like, Nate, and then whatever his last name was. And Shawn's like, I thought his name was Mate.
They probably just thought because my mom was from Scotland that I just call him like a British.
Hey, mate. It's like, hey, somebody calls you mate, you're not going to be offended. It's a fucking sweet name. It's so like nice and polite. Hello, mate. Oh, we're friends.
Probably like, hey, the Shawn guy, like, he's like super nice to me, but like, we never like hang out. Like, he calls me his mate. He thinks of me as his mate.
Oh man, wouldn't it be sad if like he like didn't really have friends and he like went home thinking you were like his best friend every day?
That would be
so
sad. Not his best friend.
All right, guys.
I gotta look that kid up on Facebook.
Are you
leaving?
I'm out of here.
Are you doing
Guys, you're at your house. You're not going anywhere.
Are you?
I'm going to eat.
You got a reason.
What are you gonna eat?
Rice, shrimp, and fish.
I'm about
Sounds
to
great.
steak.
What the hell does that mean? Are you making that or are you ordering in?
What is that?
Shawn made it.
What, rice, chicken, and shrimp?
Rice, shrimp, and fish.
Fish.
Fish. Tuna, salmon, albacore.
Salmon to be specific.
Marcus, you don't seem like a seafood guy to me, but I bet you like hush puppies. I think I know you like hush puppies.
I happen to love the shit out of seafood. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh yeah?
Are you doing mushrooms, Shawn?
Right now?
Just in general.
Jesus.
I tried them for the first time last week.
We might as well make 2 podcasts out of this. Why don't you tell us what happened?
Was it?
Unless you don't want to incriminate
like
yourself, in which case it's fine.
I don't care about that. What was that, Marcus?
Was it like a low dosage or whatever? Was it?
No, it was up there.
Holy shit, dude!
I was told you're supposed to do like an 1/8 and like really warp your mind and blah blah blah. But after I got up, like the next day, like it was almost like a factory reset of my.
Hold on, tell me this. So where were you when you do it? Like you're just like, oh, after I was done. It's like, no, tell us the story. So first of all, where do you come upon the magic mushroom?
That I won't talk about. But
Yeah, I was gonna say. Like,
in general, don't tell me the name and address, but say in general,
Yep.
some guy says, hey,
yeah,
I've got these. Do you want one?
Nick,
I'll sell it to you.
I'm in Hollywood. I just told you about that coke whore.
Yeah, I know. All right.
It is.
Here's the thing. What I want to know is, from you never seemed like someone who would do it.
That's not
What inspired you to be like, oh, yeah.
I listened to Joe Rogan's podcast, doing some research.
Yeah.
Colorado, I think, has been doing a lot to help with people with PTSD, especially soldiers.
Yeah. About
it's
about a lot of the mental drugs like LSD and all that stuff. Like they like in controlled doses and all that. They're actually looking at that as far as like what Shawn was just about to say, like a mind reset. It kind of helps with like mental issues and kind of gives you a different perspective once you start taking that stuff.
Yeah, and then I guess you're supposed to microdose, but like I've been working and I'm not trying to do that. But like, yeah, I don't even know how to have to look that up. But that's supposed to just kind of like, I guess the comedian Ron White does, which is weird because he's like a very conservative, so I didn't think he would do it. But like, it doesn't like get you like tripping or whatever, but like just kind of like takes away anxiety and things like that. But yeah, dude, I woke up.
You didn't take enough to get like fucked up and see weird shit then.
No, absolutely, I did. I was supposed to. I absolutely did. And then we played poker. I was crushing. Me and you were crushing it in poker.
Yeah.
And then I watched.
Did it have any effect on your poker game?
No. I definitely was shit talking a lot more.
Fair.
But I watched Mad Max Fury Road because it was visually stimulating.
Yeah. And then what happened?
And then I watched the TV show Hannah, which is awesome.
But I mean, did you just watch
that.
the movie normal, or did you?
That looks awesome.
Shawn watched that. She watched the first season. It's good.
It is.
I'm gonna have to watch Hannah. I like the movie.
So now I've heard other people. They're like, they see stuff and like all this other stuff going on, and it really wasn't like that for me.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I definitely woke up the next day. Like, I don't feel like drinking anymore. Like, I'll drink here and there, but like, I don't care about getting drunk or doing anything else. I felt really good. Like, woke up, edited the podcast. Did Marcus leave?
No, he just blanked out his screen.
So, edited the podcast, did a lot of stuff. Like, I feel fantastic. Like, it was a pretty good experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
But mostly because of the help that it's doing for people, that it just mentally helps people.
Yeah.
That's not the first time you drove a chick to go pick up some crack. No, I'm sorry. That's not the first time you drove a chick to go pick up some coke.
I'm leaving.